Hi, and welcome to a chat that I love having because I want to drive value, answer your questions about business. But first, I want to share with you one of the most powerful tips and tricks that we have ever had when it comes to getting sales on social media. So here you go, friends. We're going to start off by talking about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and start making sales. So my question to you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you selling your product or service? 1, I am not comfortable at all. And 10, I'll sell my product or service to anybody within 1 foot from me. 1 to 10, how comfortable are you? So if you immediately started breaking into a sweat and then you wanted to run into a corner and hide, you're like, I feel like I'm a 3. I might be a 5. Listen, it's totally normal. And I see it more often than not. So first things first, you're not alone. Sales is a skill, and sales is a talent, and sales is actually something that you can learn how to do better. So pitching your product or service is one of the most valuable things you can do as a business owner. In fact, I would go as far and say it's one of the most powerful tools that you need in your belt. It is a part of your arsenal that you absolutely have an amazing business. But the way that you communicate and the way that you get somebody to convert, it is so valuable. So there's not an amount of books or educational videos or tutorials that will convert your followers into customers if your mindset isn't right. So yes, I love talking about these skills, but first and foremost, I could literally tell you everything. I can give you a script. I can give you step by step. But if your mind isn't aligned, if you don't have a sense of belief, if you don't have confidence, you're going to have a hard time getting those sales. So how about we start with the foundation? You don't get a foundation, you build a foundation. So here are 5 mindset shifts that are going to make you comfortable selling. This is the foundation you need to get sales of your business. Mindset shift number 1, 99% of people will say no in the beginning. So when you start your business, you're like, well, maybe like I ask a few people and a few people say yes. And I'm here to tell you, no way, Jose. 99% of the people are going to say no in the beginning. And if you know this to be true, my question to you is, do you accept that? Do you accept? Will you continue to show up again and again? Will you get 99 no's before you get a yes? And if you say, yes, I am willing to do that, great. Let's get into the facts. I just choked. Excuse me. Many times people saying no has nothing to do with what you're selling. Has anybody ever approached you? I mean, let's just say you're at a baseball game and somebody's selling peanuts or a Slurpee or nachos. And you're like, no, thank you. It had nothing to do with what the person was selling, because maybe you want peanuts, a slushie, or a nacho at a later point in time. It has nothing to do with the person who's selling those things. Like, no offense, bro, it has nothing to do. It's just not about what you're selling at this moment. Mindset tip number 2 is denial isn't personal. Oftentimes, the mistake that I made early in my career was that every time somebody said no, every time I didn't book a client, I felt like they were saying no, not to my services, they were saying no to me. And the minute that I broke the distinction, the minute that I separated the two, that when somebody says no, they're not saying no to Jasmine Star, they're just saying no to the offer. And that's okay, because the minute I accept that 99% of people will say no in the beginning, and then I immediately know that it's not anything personal, I can then shift on to mindset shift number 3. And this is where you decide to keep going. This is not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart. We must first, number 1, accept that 99% of the people say no in the beginning. And if it's less than 99%, you're winning. But if you decide that you are okay getting 99 no's before you get a yes, then you have to say, it's not me. Denial isn't personal. And once you say denial isn't personal, then you decide, all right, I am not stopping now. Because when you understand that that one person saying yes or one person saying no, it doesn't make you and it doesn't break you, you show up as a different person, which leads you to mindset shift number 4. Choose to follow up with potential customers. It is so common, friends. I have to tell you, like currently, present day, Jasmine Star. I just referred to myself in third person, which is so annoying, but I'm quite honest. this present day person gets told no 4 times again and again and again before I ever get somebody to say yes. And this is me creating content every single day. This is me going live, answering questions and giving full value. Like, let me just get to the point. There's no pitch in this. Like, I'm not going to pitch you. I'm just here to serve and build trust. And guess what? 99% of the people who are watching are going to be like, it's still a no for me. That's okay. That's okay. But at some point in the future, when I am running a promotion, when I am ready to make an offer, when I'm ready to make an invitation, I'm going to follow up. Know this, because that's what the best salespeople do. I used to think that sales were a little smarmy. Now I have chosen to have the mindset shift that sales are power. Sales have nothing to do with me. I am simply making an offer and presenting an option to somebody. I will present an option to you, not right now. When I choose to follow up, I will present an offer. Now, I understand that what comes up for a lot of people is, I don't want to be annoying. Well, here's the thing. Following up is great practice as long as you lead with value. Like, here's the thing. I am going in the future, because that's how business is, and this is what I advocate for. In the future, I am going to make an invitation. I'm going to make an offer. I will ask for the sale at some point in the future. It ain't today. But when I do, I'm not saying, tick-tock, bring out your credit card, because you won't. You're smarter than that. What I'm going to do to follow up would be like, hey, I've shown up for week after week after week, creating videos, answering questions, and just being here. When the time has come, I'm going to lead with value as a follow-up. Mindset shift number 5 is to serve and not sell. The best piece of sales advice is to think of how to help your customer. No strings attached. And guess what? That's what I'm doing now. No strings attached. How can I help you have a better day? How can I push you to get more sales? How can I empower you to become a better business owner? Now, whether or not you agree that I am doing those things, I'm still showing up. I'm still trying my best. I'm still thinking of ways that I could serve you better. Because when you focus on your customers, when you focus on their fears, their doubts, their questions, their wonderings, when you just think about them, it's never going to feel like you're selling them something, but you're serving them. You're serving them with entertainment. You're serving them with education. You're serving them with empowerment. Your content is to serve and help and build trust. That is the thing that leads to sales. And when you finally ask for the sale, 99% of the people will say no. Mindset shift number 2, the denial is not personal. Mindset shift number 3 is to decide, make the decision, because you're in control. You happen to it. It does not happen to you. I'm going to keep on going. Number 4, follow up with customers. Ain't no shame in that game, baby. That is how you win. And then number 5, serve, show up with value. All 5 of these mindset shifts can be tackled today to get you results that you want tomorrow or the day after. Now, when you are in the right mindset, like once you've decided, all right, Jasmine, all right, I understand that my sales aren't going to come overnight. I understand that 99% of the people are going to say no in the beginning. I understand that I'm going to keep on going. Great. Then you need to get a plan, because it's not enough for you to be like, I'm going to market my business. Okay, but how? No, I want to walk you through the exact sales method that the Social Curator team and I use again and again. It is what we teach, and it's a free guide. You can download a free guide at jasminestar.com/live launch. This is, remember how I said, oh, at some point in the future, I'll lead up to it. This is our exact model, and you could take it, use it. Why? I want to lead with value. I want to empower you, and I want you to do the dang thing. All right, let's dive into Q&A. We're going to dive into a few questions. So Carrie Sapphire had said, do you think setting deadlines work for sales? Example, book within the next 7 days to get X offer. 100%. I absolutely think that works. But, and there is a caveat, you have to try different mechanisms. Sometimes 7 days is too long. Sometimes 7 days isn't enough. Sometimes if you're consistently making an offer, and all the offers look different, like let's say that you make 3 offers in 1 month, and each of them has like, you have to make a decision by this date to get this, then people just become accustomed, like, oh, that's their shtick. Like that's how they do it. So it's good, yes, to experiment, but I wouldn't say carte blanche, apply it to every sales or promotion that you have. Sorry, I have, you guys, like your girl is ghetto fab. I have my computer set up on a book. And so I think it's like shaking. I talk with my hands. It is what it is. Okay. Question. How do I not take no personally when it comes from a friend or a loved one? Oh, I don't know about anybody else, but I can tell you that I have had more no's from family and loved ones than I ever had from strangers, proportionately speaking. The people who love you the most want to protect you. And oftentimes, people who never pursued their dreams because of fear will try to talk you out of pursuing your dreams based on their fear. And they think that by supporting your business, they're somehow coddling you. They think that by supporting your business, they're letting you live in a daydream, right? That business is not really going to work. Why would I invest in her cakes? Why would I invest in her business coaching? Why would I buy essential oils? You are going to get told no from family members and loved ones disproportionately more than not. And then you have to say, go back to the mindset shift. 99% of people are going to say no, family and loved ones included. And then you have to go through the mindset shift. The no isn't personal. The denial isn't personal. Maybe they don't want your business coaching. That's okay. Listen, not everybody has good taste. If they say no to your offer, that's on them. They don't have good taste. You're not good. You should never be in the game of convincing somebody that they need something. You should be in the game. The best sales is to show up and serve with value and make an offer and be like, you have seen me work. You have seen the content that I am putting out there. This is on you now. That is the best place of power for you to be in. And let me just tell you, let me just remind you that your success will silence their doubts. There was no greater feeling that when I first started my very first career, I decided to become a photographer. My dad has a church in East Los Angeles. I was trying to give my photography away for free. I was trying to get people almost like, let me shoot your wedding for free. Let me just work 10 hours and give you all the digital images for free. And people said no. And you want to know what? When I built my career, the first year of my business, I earned over $100,000 my very first year in business, and I had no idea what I was doing. And then over the years, I started getting awards for my work. And the very people who said, no, I'm not going to have you shoot your wedding, were trying to hit me up and be like, oh, can you take our family photos? Or, oh, my sister's getting married. Can you shoot her wedding? And I'm like, funny how it works. Funny how it works. And when they asked, after I was like, I'm going to do it for free. When they asked 2-3 years later for me to shoot a family member, daughter, sister, I was like, here's my prices. Make an offer. That's right. Moving on. Lisa Coe, what's the best way to use social curator posts to support a launch? Lisa, check out issue 19. What we do is we lay out a 4-week framework. Y'all, this is so good. It is a 4-week framework for how to do a complete promotion. It is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. We give you all of the captions. We give you all of the idea posts. We empower you to create content around reels. Oh, girl, you have to check that one out. That is a doozy. Amy Womack, I have an activewear company and the leggings hold your stuff in place. Would it be best to do a live to share this? If so, should I do this weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly as a reminder to hold your stuff in place? The answer is yes, yes, yes. I want you to do whatever you can to showcase your product or service. If after you go live and you realize, oh, you know what, my audience isn't watching, they're not following up with questions, then you could stop doing it. But you have to make the decision and the understanding, like, friends, I have to tell you, I went live on Facebook. I went live on Instagram. I've gone live on TikTok, and I had to do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again before one person showed up. Like, oftentimes people are like, well, if I go live, people will just show up. No, they won't. No, they won't. How many times do you see on any social platform, on YouTube, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, that somebody's live? It's not like, oh my God, they're live. Let me go and check it out right now. No, they're by and large recorded. So there's not a pressure for somebody to watch it live. People think if I go live, people will come. That is so far from the truth. What you have to say is, I'm going to do it again and again and again and again and again. And I'm going to keep on showing up, and I'm going to keep on showing people how to keep their stuff in place until I find the right cadence, until I find an audience that wants to see these demos done in this way. But I don't think that you should forsake anything else. Like I absolutely positively think that you should be testing lives. You should be testing reels. You should be testing photos. You should be testing carousels. You should be testing everything, because every audience is different. Some people come up to me and like, Jasmine, lives are where it's at. I just met a woman last week at a mastermind, and she's doing $2 million in sales with no ads. She's a coach. She's like, I go live on Instagram 3 times a week. I go live for like an hour. I get all of my leads. I close them, and she pays 0 in ads, goes live. So she was at this mastermind telling everybody, oh, you need to go live, and you need to go live, and you can go live. Now, I like going live. I think that they're totally powerful, but I also know it doesn't work for every business as well as some businesses. But then there's other businesses who have reels, and their reels are killing it. It really depends on what you're selling, on your skill set, and your level of consistency. Okay, so all that to say, yes, 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 do it all, and then test and be consistent. Okay, let's dive into Megan Sanford. Do you think Facebook is going out? I hear so many people talk about this. Well, you're on Facebook right now. So if you happen to be watching this on a replay on YouTube, I will go live on Facebook, and then I'll repurpose it on YouTube. So I also will say that I'm going to start testing going live on YouTube, downloading the video, and then uploading it to Facebook. I'm going to start testing. Like, listen, statistically and analytically, if Facebook engagement has been dropping. But just because something's been dropping doesn't mean that there's not an opportunity for you to be there. So I'm still creating on platforms because this opportunity was exactly what was intended. You and I were intended to meet now. So I will continue showing up. But again, it depends on your demo. If you have a business and you're focusing on selling to 25-year-old guys, yeah, Facebook's probably not the best platform for you to use. It's just not. But if you are targeting, a 33-year-old mom, Facebook groups, unparalleled. Like, this is exactly where you want to be. So it just depends. Understanding your demo and understanding where they hang out is going to be the most powerful thing that you can do. Tiffany Rose asked, how do you work multiple social media accounts for multiple businesses? I have a personalized gift business as well as a cookie business. Well, then you first give yourself grace. But I have seen so many people do so much when they have a plan. It's like, quite honestly, like the biggest thing that I advocate for, I teach a class. It's one of the most popular classes I teach called like how to create a month of content in one day. It's really great. But like very few people have a full day to create their entire content for social media. So like by and large, what I see works the best is if you choose one day a week, not even one day, you choose a few hours in 1 week, and then you just plan out what your social media posts. You don't even need to create all the content for it. You actually just need to plan it. So every Sunday I will lay out, and I know exactly what days I'm going live on Instagram, what days I'm going live on YouTube, what days the videos are going to be uploaded to YouTube, what days I'm going to be posting reels on Instagram. Like, there's the whole strategy, but planning for it is more than half the battle. So I think you can absolutely have 2 accounts, but the reason why people feel so overwhelmed is they're like, oh, did I do this? And did I do that? And did I repurpose it? And how did that go? It's like literally sitting down, creating out a calendar, which is why, I'm spilling the tea, but on the inside of Social Curator, what we're building right now is a social calendar. So where people can go in and start itemizing, posting onto Facebook and then repurposing to Instagram, or posting on Instagram, scheduling it later for Facebook. So all of those things are in the works because I understand how difficult it is, but quite honestly, it is the plan. You build the plan, it will work. Okay, so Christy Jardim asked, how do I overcome imposter syndrome while trying to introduce the items I sell? I'm so horrible at sales. So this right here, Christy and anybody else who says, I'm horrible at sales. If you say you're horrible at sales, you're right. But if you say, I'm learning how to get better at sales, you're right. But the way that we speak to ourselves and the way that our brain processes what we are saying manifests in the actions we take. So if you, Christy, or anybody else continues to say, I'm horrible at sales, your actions will map your words. You'll say, I'm horrible. And all of a sudden you have a crutch. And then all of a sudden you got a back door. And all of a sudden you have an excuse. Saying you're bad at something is an excuse. Saying that you're willing to learn how to get better, friend, then you have a reason. You have a reason to continue showing up. You have a reason to engage with this video. You have a reason to take notes. You have a reason to have mindset shifts, because at the end of the day, nobody is ever comfortable in the beginning talking about what it is they sell. But just like anything, the more you do it, the better you get. There is no magic pill. There is no magic pill. Everybody is selling something all the time. You know, like a presidential candidate, what are they selling? Your trust and confidence. A PTA president, what are they selling? They want to get reelected for next year's PTA president. Everybody is trying to sell you something. And the people who become the most effective at selling, whatever it is, your trust, your money, your benevolence, anything, the best are simply the people who do. It is simply the person, the candidate who will stump through multiple states and shake hands and kiss babies again and again. And they find the cadence. They find the pressure points by doing it and then fixing it on the next time. Every business owner who has ever sold anything in the beginning is wonky as all get out. And then the more you do it, the better you get. But this is where so many people stop. They say, I have this amazing offer. I have amazing product. I have amazing service. And then they say, I'm terrible at sales. Guess what, baby? If you ain't talking about your business, nobody else will. And the only way you get better at your business, the only way you hone your craft for sales is by doing it again and again. The only way that you will get somebody to pay you, the only way somebody's going to hand over your credit card is when you are so confident in what you're presenting. And you want to know what? How do you get confident? Practice. You get confident by having the courage to show up as you are. You don't get confident by hoping your way there. You don't get confident by practicing in your mind. You don't get confident through positive thinking. You get confident by making the decision to have a mindset shift to continue to show up. Period. The end. So, Christy, when you have imposter syndrome, I want to tell you, you're not a special snowflake. We all suffer from fear and disappointment and experiences that would shake the foundation for how we show up on behalf of our business. And then some of us, a small group of us, continue to keep moving forward despite how much we suck. And it is the people who look at other people and be like, wow, that person's just doing incredible things. Can you believe it? And that person is edified and exalted, not because they're good, that they were just born that way. They're edified and exalted because they sat in the suck longer than anybody else and decided to hone their craft. So Christy, and anybody else who says I'm horrible at sales. So is everyone when they start. And the only way you get better is by doing it again and again and again. That's it. So if you are watching this and you're ready to sit in the suck and you're ready to hone your craft and you're ready to move the needle by simply doing and practicing, like, let me know in the comments. Be like, I'm ready. Like, literally write 2 words in the comments. I'm ready. Because what happens is, like, when you make a public declaration of who you once were, but who you are today, it keeps you accountable in a different way. You could say, I used to be horrible at sales until one day I made the decision to simply say, I'm learning how to get better at sales. And then what do? You set up sales calls. Just pick up the phone, knock on a door. Get 99 no's. And by the time that 100th comes around, you're like, oh, I know every question you have. I know every doubt you have. I've practiced this enough. I've given an offer, and I am no longer waiting for you to give me a sale. I'm standing in my confidence, making a very clear offer that is going to make your life better. Do you want in or not? That's it. Friends, thank you so much again and again for this ability to show up for us, to have these conversations. I just want to know, your greatest gift to me would be for you to write, I'm ready in the comments. That is how I receive who's here and who's ready to take it to the next level. Like, seriously, thank you 1,000 times over. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Be blessed. Bye, y'all.